Ladies and gentlemen, every single morning when the sun rises, life hands us a brand new canvas. The way we choose to paint that canvas, especially in those first few minutes of the day, sets the tone for everything that follows. When the alarm rings, when we open our eyes and breathe in that first breath of the morning, we are not just waking our bodies, we are also awakening our minds. And what we allow into our minds at that moment can determine whether our day becomes heavy and dull or bright and purposeful. That is why affirmations matter so deeply. They are not just words, not just casual thoughts. They are the fuel for our mental engine, the compass that quietly directs our path before we even take our first step outside. Think about it. We live in a world that constantly throws distractions, negativity, and noise at us. Before breakfast, we may already see news headlines filled with fear, social media filled with comparison, and thoughts filled with doubts. If we do not guard our minds in the morning, we walk into the world already weakened, already drained, already doubting ourselves. But if we decide, right at the start of the day, to speak words of strength, clarity, and hope, then we walk into that same world with a shield. Affirmations are that shield. They block out the whispers of, "You're not enough," and replace them with, "I am capable, I am ready, I am prepared." What we repeat to ourselves in the morning sets the rhythm for the entire day. Imagine your mind as a radio. If you tune it to the wrong station, fear, anxiety, laziness, you will hear that same frequency all day long. But if you tune it to courage, gratitude, and purpose, then no matter what challenges come, you will respond with power. That is the power of affirmations. They are not magical spells that instantly change life, but they are seeds planted deep inside. And with consistency, those seeds grow into habits, habits grow into character, and character shapes destiny. Some may ask, can just telling myself something really make a difference? The answer is yes. Science shows us that the brain builds pathways based on repetition. If you constantly think you are weak, your brain strengthens that belief. But if you tell yourself daily that you are strong, confident, and resilient, your brain begins to accept it as truth. Over time, your actions begin to align with those words. This is why athletes visualize victory before the game, why leaders rehearse confidence before stepping into big moments, and why successful people often start their mornings with powerful self-talk. They know that the battle is won or lost in the mind before it is fought in reality. Affirmations are more than positive talk. They are instructions to the soul. When you say, "Today, I will focus," you are not only setting a goal, you are programming your mind to ignore distractions. When you declare, "I am grateful for this new day," you are teaching yourself to see opportunities instead of obstacles. These words act like a mirror, reflecting not just who you are, but who you are becoming. And when spoken with conviction, they begin to silence doubt, calm fear, and ignite courage. Every morning is a chance to choose the story you will live that day. Will it be the story of regret and hesitation, or will it be the story of strength and progress? Affirmations give you the pen to write that story intentionally. They remind you that you are not a prisoner of yesterday's mistakes, nor a victim of today's circumstances. You are the author of your own path, and when you start the day reminding yourself of that truth, you carry a power inside that no challenge, no setback, and no negativity can easily shake. So, ladies and gentlemen, as the sun rises tomorrow, don't just wake your body, wake your mind. Don't just step into the day blindly, step in with intention. Look in the mirror, speak to yourself with strength, and declare the truths that will guide your heart. Because what you tell yourself every morning is not just talk, it is the foundation of the life you are building. And when you choose the right words, you choose the right direction for your day, your future, and your destiny. The mind is the most powerful tool we possess, yet it is also the most easily influenced. It is like software, running silently in the background, shaping how we think, feel, and act. And just like any software, it operates on the instructions we give it. If those instructions are filled with doubt, fear, or laziness, then our actions will naturally reflect hesitation, avoidance, and procrastination. But if we choose to feed the mind with words of confidence, purpose, and determination, then it begins to operate differently. It responds with clarity, focus, and resilience. This is why self-programming through affirmations is so essential. Every morning we are given a chance to install new commands into our minds, commands that prepare us to face the day with strength instead of weakness. Too often, we underestimate the power of repetition. Think about how a song gets stuck in your head. You didn't choose it consciously, but because you heard it again and again, your brain recorded it until it played on repeat. The same thing happens with thoughts. If we constantly tell ourselves, "I can't do this," or "I'll probably fail," those phrases become mental soundtracks. We don't even notice when they start controlling us. But when we deliberately replace those phrases with "I can," "I will," "I am capable," the brain begins to adopt that as the new soundtrack. Over time, it becomes second nature to act with confidence, because the inner voice is no longer an enemy but an ally. Self-programming is not about ignoring reality. It is about preparing ourselves to face reality with the right mindset. Life will test us with challenges, setbacks, and disappointments, but how we respond depends on the programming we've built. If the mind has been trained to panic or give up, then we collapse under pressure. But if the mind has been trained to persist, to seek solutions, to keep faith in the middle of storms, then no challenge is strong enough to break us. That training comes from what we consistently tell ourselves every morning. Words like, I am disciplined, I am focused, I am resilient are not just affirmations, they are mental workouts, building inner strength the way exercise builds muscles. Consider the people we admire, athletes, leaders, innovators. They are not free from fear or doubt. The difference is, they have trained their minds to respond with courage when doubt appears. They have programmed themselves to act with discipline when comfort tempts them. They remind themselves daily of their vision, their purpose, and their worth. It is not luck that drives their success, but the silent preparation they do within their own minds before the world even sees their effort. When we neglect self-programming, we leave our minds open to programming from others, society, media, negativity, and comparison. But when we take charge each morning, we become the author of our own thoughts. Instead of letting the world dictate how we feel, we dictate it ourselves. That is true power. That is the difference between drifting aimlessly and walking with direction. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember this, your mind is listening to everything you say to yourself. If you fill it with weakness, weakness will grow. If you fill it with strength, strength will grow. Choose carefully what you plant in the fertile soil of your thoughts. Every morning, use affirmations as the tools to rewrite your script, reprogram your software, and reset your focus. Because once your mind is aligned with your goals, your actions will follow naturally. And when your actions align with your purpose, success is not just possible, it becomes inevitable. Life has a way of pulling us into routines. We wake up, go through the motions, complete our tasks, and before we know it, weeks and months pass without us realizing where the time went. In that cycle, it becomes easy to forget why we are striving, why we endure challenges, and why we once dreamed bigger than our circumstances. This is where the power of morning affirmations becomes more than just words. It becomes a renewal of purpose. Every sunrise gives us an invitation to reconnect with our why, to remind ourselves that we are not just living another ordinary day, but stepping into an opportunity to grow, to create, and to move closer to our vision. When we begin the day by speaking affirmations like, I am stronger than yesterday, or I am grateful for this chance to try again, we are reminding ourselves that life is not stagnant. Each day is progress, even if the progress feels small. These words remind us that we are not defined by yesterday's failures nor trapped by last week's mistakes. Instead, we are evolving, learning, and moving forward. Without these reminders, we can easily lose sight of our goals and allow the weight of routine to dull our passion. With them, we keep the flame of purpose alive, no matter how ordinary the day may appear. Purpose is like fuel. It runs out if we do not refill it. Just as a car cannot keep running on an empty tank, we cannot keep pursuing our goals on an empty heart. That is why morning affirmations act as a daily recharge. When we say, I am disciplined, we strengthen our commitment. When we declare, I am worthy of success, we fight back against self-doubt. When we affirm, I am focused, we realign our energy toward what truly matters. These simple but intentional words refill the fuel, tank that routine, and challenges slowly drain throughout the day. It is not enough to dream once and then forget about it. Dreams must be nurtured daily. Affirmations give us the power to reconnect with our vision every single morning. Think of it as checking the map before starting a journey. Without checking, you might drift off course without noticing. But with daily reminders of your purpose, you stay aligned with the direction you truly want to go. The world may distract you, problems may slow you, but with your purpose renewed, you will not lose sight of the destination. Moreover, affirmations build resilience. Life does not always go as planned, and challenges can easily make us question our path. But when we begin each morning by telling ourselves, I can handle whatever comes my way, we are preparing our minds for adversity before it arrives. That preparation makes setbacks less frightening and obstacles less discouraging. We no longer see problems as stop signs, but as stepping stones, because our daily affirmations remind us that our purpose is greater than any temporary hardship. Some may dismiss affirmations as small or insignificant, but it is the consistent, simple habits that create the greatest transformations. Just as drops of water carve deep rivers over time, daily affirmations carve strength, clarity, and resilience into our character. They remind us not only of who we are, but of who we are becoming. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the true gift of morning affirmations. They do not just motivate us for the day, they slowly transform us for life. So tomorrow when you rise, do not let the morning slip by unnoticed. Take a moment to speak into your own heart. Tell yourself that you are capable. Tell yourself that you are growing. Tell yourself that you are walking with purpose. In doing so, you are not just starting the day, you are renewing your vision, strengthening your will, and igniting your inner drive. That daily renewal is what keeps passion alive, keeps goals in sight, and keeps purpose alive in a world that tries to bury it under routine. As we stand at the edge of each new day, we are faced with a choice. We can allow the world to dictate how we think, how we act, and how we feel, or we can take control of our own minds and shape the day with intention. Affirmations are not empty words. They are the foundation upon which we build our discipline, our confidence, and our courage. They are daily reminders that we are stronger than our doubts, greater than our fears, and capable of far more than we often believe. If there is one truth to carry with you, it is this: your voice is the first one you hear every morning, and it has the power to set the direction of your entire day. Speak life, speak purpose, speak strength. Remind yourself that you are not just here to exist. You are here to grow, to serve, to overcome, and to shine. So tomorrow when you wake and the sun rises again, take those first moments seriously. Do not let them slip away. Declare to yourself the person you want to be, and then walk into the day as if those words are already true. Because in time, with consistency and belief, they will be. Ladies and gentlemen, the journey of greatness does not begin in the grand moments of life. It begins in the quiet mornings, with the simple words we whisper to ourselves. Choose those words wisely, and they will carry you to the future you deserve. Thank you.